Hey good people, welcome back to Beauty and the Frizz. My name is Cara. Whether you're new or returning, thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me for another one today. Today I'm doing a bit of a palette mashup. I'm playing with something old and something new. I'm going to be playing with the Pat McGrath Mothership 10 Moonlit Seduction, and then I'm also going to be playing with the Notoriously Morbid Queen of Hearts palette. I am going to show the swatches and everything on this palette because I know a lot of people ordered it and are waiting for it. So if you want to see all of that along with two looks, keep watching this video. Let me know what you think. And if makeup is your therapy and your love, if it makes you happy and you want to hang out with someone that feels the same way, definitely consider joining the community. I'd love to have you back. All right, let's get started. All right, you guys, so I did receive the Notoriously Morbid Queen of Hearts palette. This is their Valentine's Day release, and I just got a little bit behind with report cards and everything in the second quarter, and I just haven't had a chance to use it, so I really wanted to sit down and play with it. The reason that I'm doing a mashup is, one, it's going to give me a chance to use multiple palettes in my collection, and two, the mattes that are in here are just not two mattes that I really care for that much. So that's why I picked the Pat McGrath palette to go ahead and be a companion for this one. So this palette is still in stock on the Notoriously Morbid website. It is one of their pricier palettes. It's $64.99. If this is a palette you're interested in, I do have a code and it's affiliated. It is Beauty and the Frizz 15, which will take 15% off. But I will say that this is definitely expensive. Notoriously Morbid is a small handmade indie brand out of West Virginia. They're vegan and cruelty free, and I really do like their products because they're very unique. I never know what they're gonna come out with. I've only tried their eyeshadow, but if you look on their website, they have so much more than eyeshadow. They've got bath bombs and wax melts. They do have lipstick and eyeliners and single shadows, but most of the time I just focus on their palettes because that's what I fell in love with from the brand. I'm gonna show you this packaging up close. So again, this is the Queen of Hearts palette. So you can see it's like off with her head. And I'm trying to think. So last year they came out with the Rose from the Dead palette, and the year before that it was the Rip My Effing Heart Out palette. So they always have something different going on, and I love that about the brand. This palette has 15 shades. It is a combination of mattes, shimmers, there's flakies, the duochromes / multi-chromes. Let's get into that up close. So I'm just gonna read the shade names. We have Hold Your Hand, Life of Crime, All In, Mess Around, Drowning in Promises, Another Lie, Handing Out Heartaches, Painted Roses, Heads Will Roll, Temper, Unrealistic Lover, Off With Your Head, Queen of Hearts, Right Kind of Sinner, Only in It for Fun. And this is what the back of the palette looks like. So the hearts behind the shade names show the color of the shade, and you can see some of them have two shades, so you know that they are like duochromes, and they do let you know whether or not the shades are lip safe. Because you know we have a lot of creativity going on. We can add these shades to our lips and change up our lipstick and things like that. So love that they let us know all of that information. So we're gonna now get into the swatches. As you're looking at the swatches, I just want to share that just right offhand, this kind of layout reminds me of the Boohoo palette and the Summertime Sadness palette. I am gonna grab that. I already filmed the end of this video and I didn't do any comparisons, so I'm going to show that really quickly. But as per usual, Notoriously Morbid, they've got a really unique eyeshadow formula. It's very sparkly. It works best with a primer, and you do see that there are a couple flaky shades that are textured. Those aren't my favorites, but the more smooth metallics and duochromes are the ones that I love. Their mattes always blend out very well, even though they're not my favorite mattes to work with. I don't have any issue using them. These particular mattes in this palette would not be my go-to, which is another reason why I brought in the Pat McGrath palette. Let me grab the Boohoo palette and the Summertime Sadness just so we can see what these look like in case this is a palette that you were considering purchasing and you already have Boohoo or Summertime Sadness. So I'll be right back. All right, so I grabbed first Summertime Sadness. Yeah, see, so let me do these together, and I'm hoping this is going to be helpful. And the color stories aren't exactly the same. So we have Queen of Hearts on the left and Summertime Sadness on the right. I'm not saying like they're duplicates, but I do see some similar shades in both palettes. But Summertime Sadness, that one sold out really fast. And then we have Boohoo, which is also gone, but this is just, now this one I think is similar. So let's take a look here. I actually like the mattes better in the Boohoo palette. Boohoo is on the left, Queen of Hearts is on the right. So probably should have saved all that to the end. But if you missed out on Boohoo, then Queen of Hearts may be a good option for you. But if you have Boohoo, I don't know, Queen of Hearts seems to be similar. So now that we've done all of that, let's go ahead and get into these two looks. All right, you guys, I'm so excited to film this video because I got up early and I really do want to try to get my little palette rotations going again. So I've got my Pat McGrath, a Mothership 10, Moonlit Seduction, and then the Notoriously Morbid Queen of Hearts palette. I really thought these would look nice together. So this was supposedly my least favorite Mothership, at least for 2022. And then I received this from Notoriously Morbid. I don't know. This one doesn't have mattes that I really like too much. It's got this like white matte shade that I'm not going to use, and then this blue, which is not quite navy. So I wanted to pull the mattes from Mama Pat's palette. Let's see what we're going to come up with, and you know, just do multiple looks. Now I'm not sure at this time, I've probably already said whether or not the Queen of Hearts palette is available, but as of right now, I am not sure. So let's get into this look, y'all, for work. I'm gonna use Rosewood Romantique with a BK Beauty A503 fluffy brush. So I'm taking this shade into the transition area, and yes to these mattes. I'm not gonna really be doing anything like super extreme. You know, I really wanna start doing looks. Well, I have been, but it looks that I'm really gonna be wearing, you know? I think back to some of my old videos looking like a tropical bird, which there's nothing wrong with that. It just wasn't me, you know what I mean? So I'm excited to kind of do these palette mashups from time to time and really get use out of my collection. Now at this time, I still have a bunch of palettes to go through for the declutter. I'm hoping to film some of that when I get home today, but we will see how the evening goes. There's still quite a bit of palettes left, but I've got them all on my spreadsheet, which brands I need to go through, and you know, I'm hoping to just make some quick decisions, like do I like it, do I not? And I do have one that I'm gonna probably trade back, but my thing is, if I decide I want to keep something that I said I was gonna declutter, then I have to declutter something else instead. So that's just gonna be my rule. And the palette, coincidentally, is the Pat McGrath Celestial Nirvana palette, the Mothership Mega, and you know, I'll explain in the declutter video, but that palette is so new. I'm thinking that it would be a really great palette to mash up with others, but I just don't like that palette on its own. So that one's most likely going to be a companion palette at best. But because those colors of mattes for Pat McGrath are so rare, I kind of want to keep them, you know? I'm just taking a crease brush by MSQ and just putting that in the inner corner, or the inner corner. Oh, and this looks really beautiful. Like, starting to really enjoy the cool tones. So this is gonna look great with one of these shimmers from Notoriously Morbid. Just wanna see which one I wanna use. This green is really pretty. And then there's like this, I don't know, this is pretty. Let's see, this shade is called Life of Crime. It's like a duochrome, like a really frosty blue. That's nice. Then I could always go neutral. There's a color here, Painted Roses. Let's see what time we got here, 6:57. We're doing all right. That's very pretty as well. That would give me more of a monochromatic vibe. Okay, this one's kind of flaky, but this looks nice. This is called, what is this called? Queen of Hearts. That's pretty, but I don't feel like dealing with the flakes today. I don't. I'm gonna go with the Life of Crime. Y'all know who that is. I'm gonna take a little bit of my Doorline mixing medium, which I do like to use with these, and I'm not like filling the dropper. I'm just rubbing what's here on my hand. I'm gonna take this brush here from Unearthly Cosmetics. It's a shader, but it's like a thicker one, and go into it, into the mixing medium. All right, let's see what this looks like. Just in the center of the lid. Oh yes, I think these palettes are perfect for each other, like for mixing. I'm just bringing it up a bit, just so we can kind of see that color, like when my eyes are like relaxed. And then I am gonna go back with the crease brush into Rosewood Romantique, just to kind of have it fade into the shimmer. So that looks good. That's what we're looking like from afar. I think I do want to go into Extreme Nocturne a little bit for the outer corner, just to give this a little more smokiness, just a little bit, using the BK Beauty brush that I started with in the beginning. See it right there? Just a little bit. I don't want it to be too deep, but you can see it there. See, and the issue that I have with this Pat McGrath palette is that the mattes are so similar. So like my next look, I'm gonna try to use the other matte shade, this one, and see, you know, if we can get the look to look any different. But that was like one of my main critiques of this mothership. But it is pretty, you know, it is. I'm not even gonna act like it's not. All right, and I'm gonna go into that nocturnal shade just right here on the outer corner using a rougher brush. This is the 26 brush. This is like really perfect for the lower lash line. And then back into Rosewood Romantique for the first part of the under eye. Yeah, so this looks good. Just want to go into this area here, blend it out a little more. I'm actually really feeling this look. Inner corner highlights, that's a bit deep. Maybe we should go back into Notoriously Morbid, yes. And let's go into Hold Your Hand. Hold Your Hand is this shade here, and it's just a beautiful silver shimmer. It's not a beautiful silver. It looks kind of golden in the pan, but it's another duochrome here. Ooh, I like that. Okay. So I just want to say out loud to myself, it feels so good recording in the morning. Again, this is like my piece in the morning before I go to work, and I definitely want to keep up with this. This really makes me feel good. So here is the look. And I'm gonna finish it up and let you know what I think. All right, you guys, I'm back with the finished look. Yes, y'all, see? Starting my day off right. I am really happy with this look. Like, yes. To finish it off, I used the Victoria Beckham liner in the shade Fig, and then I just used a Dior Show mascara, and I put everything else I have on my face in the description box. But I really like this look. Like, I love it. And this could be a look, like a going out look. I could make it a little smokier with this outer shade here if I wanted it to be more dramatic. Put on some lashes. I was gonna do that, but I want to push my time. All right, so love this look. Let's get into one more. All right, you guys, I just got home from work and I was like, let me touch up my makeup and let's do another look. Like, why not? 2 looks one day. Okay. The first look lasted pretty well, and I did get some compliments at work, so that was nice. You know what? See, this just lets me know I need to be getting up early. This just solidifies getting up early to film, do my makeup, because it makes me feel good. Got me some extra blush on. Okay. Then after this, I plan on taking a walk. So we're gonna try to create a different look. And I did use the Rosewood shade, but now I need to use this one and the brown maybe. Or maybe we'll try to go more brown. Why don't we see how we can blend this one out? Because Pat McGrath, we can usually blend out, you know? So let's see. That way we can do more of a, I don't know, grungier look. Maybe pick up some of this green, something like that. Let's see. So let's go into Extreme Nocturne. I am going to use this Dose of Colors blending brush, and we're going to start it on the outer corner and see how this works kind of as a outer corner and blend out type transition. I mean, usually you can do this with Pat McGrath, so we'll see. One of these mats really should have been a different color. I'm not going to keep saying it. It's taking a little bit of work, but it is kind of diffusing out. I'm not mad. So I think that actually looks pretty good. And I think I might use the Skin Show shade to kind of blend this upwards a little bit. But for now, we're going to just do the same thing on the other side. Actually, this doesn't look bad at all. It's a really nice, cool brown. So I want to take this crease blender from Sydney Grace. And the Skin Show shade is called Skin Tints Glow. So that's this one here. Now I could go into that white that's in the Queen of Hearts palette, but I don't want to do that. And maybe if we just go, okay, I'm trying to get a little shimmer here, but I'm also trying to get a bit of a gradient. So maybe going up, yeah, going up against the brow bone, kind of, and bringing it down onto Extreme Nocturne. That's gonna give it a little bit of a, more of a diffuse look, I think. So you see the difference? Like, to me, this looks smoother as far as the transition to the deeper shade. And I like that. I can clearly see that. I'm thinking this might be one of her better Skin Show shades, because I don't always like them. But you see how that just, like, I don't know. It just made it look better. Like, look from here. I mean, we could stop. We could really stop. I mean, well, no, we can't, because we need something on the lid. But I'm just saying, like, okay, yes. So you always have to look at it from afar. Okay, this is like regular. Now, we need to go into a shimmer. Right away, I was thinking this green right here. This one's called All In. Yes, we're about to go all in with this green here. Ooh, this is pretty too, though. Nope. And we got, oh, we got this. And we see this one kind of a lot. I don't know. I'm going to go with the green. Let's go with my gut. Didn't spray this one. Oh yeah, this was the right choice. The right choice. And I might go into that fiery red one. Let me see how I'm feeling. Ooh, this one's nice, and it's not fallouty either. Because some of these Notoriously Morbid ones can be real fallouty. Like, you would be a sparkly mess. Oh yes, yes. Yeah, so see, I'm feeling companion palette vibe with this Queen of Hearts palette, which there's nothing wrong with that. And let's go into Temper, which is this one. I just think that's gonna look nice because I just think it will. And I'm just gonna put that here. Only a little taste, not anything extreme. I'm using my finger to combine the two shades, just like that. And then we'll come back with more of Extreme Nocturne on the outer corner. And we didn't even have to do this. We could have just left it with all in and been all in. So yeah, I like that. I like this. It's very subtle. And then I'm gonna go with the same brush, like I said, into Extreme Nocturne, just to put it on the outer corner, blending it with the Temper shade. See if we can get a little here. Got a little fallout from Extreme Nocturne. So just make sure you tap off your brush. Now I'm gonna go back into my Refer 28 brush, and then, or 26 brush, and then I'm gonna go into Plum Cabaret. So that's this one here for the rest of the lower lash line. Yeah, I just feel like these are not showing up too much differently. I mean, as far as Plum Cabaret and Rosewood Romantique. So that looks good though on the lower lash line. So that's what we've got for the look. And then we need the inner corner. Wing winks. See where we want to go. Got rose gold. Maybe we'll do Off With Your Head. That's this one here. Just taking a Melt Cosmetics pencil brush. All right, there's look number 2 for our palette mashup. Let me know your thoughts. And I'm gonna finish this one and close out the video, let you know what I think about Queen of Hearts, especially because this is a new one, and then how I like it with Mothership 10, and if I have any feelings that have changed about that palette. I'll be right back. All right, back with the second look. I think both of these looks really turned out great. I like them both. I don't know if I have a favorite. I like them both. To finish this off, I used the Victoria Beckham liner in the shade Cocoa, which is just brown, and then my Dior Show mascara. And that's gonna be it. So let me give you my thoughts about using both of these palettes together. First, I wanna start with the Notoriously Morbid palette. So I did mention that this palette was gifted to me, and I believe this was one of their pricier palettes in the $60 range. I would say that if you frequently buy palettes from Notoriously Morbid, you may have some similar shades in this one. I wouldn't say this is like a must-have palette. There are a couple of the flakier textured shades down here at the bottom, which I think are just these two from the shades that I've used so far. There are a couple of the flakier shades down here at the bottom, these two. But as far as like uniqueness of shades and things like that, if you are a collector of their palettes, you may find something similar in your other Notoriously Morbid palettes. I can definitely look at these and say that some of these are similar. And if you like indie eyeshadow palettes, which if you've heard of Notoriously Morbid, you probably do know a lot about indie eyeshadows, you might already have some of these shades in your collection. The formula may be a little bit different, but the shades may be the same. I don't really see myself using this matte too much at all, or this one, the Drowning in Promises. This blue is a bit bright for me, and you know how I am with blues. It's like hit or miss with me, but I do like this as a companion palette. So if you were interested in this palette, those are my thoughts, and I do have my code Beauty in the Frizz 15. If you purchase this, you can get 15% off. So that's how I feel about this one. It's another really solid release from the brand, and I always look forward to their color stories and their artwork and the shade names and all of that good stuff. It's just a really, really fun brand, and it's homemade, and that's another thing that I really, really like and enjoy about Notoriously Morbid. Their shades can be a bit sparkly, so I definitely recommend using some type of glitter glue or primer or mixing medium if you do your face first, the way I always do, just to make sure you don't end up with sparkles everywhere or flakes. And if you want to maybe take down some of these flaky shades and make them more liquidy or make them into a liner, that mixing medium is going to be great for that too. So let's revisit Mothership 10. As you know, I did, well, you might not know, I did do a review on this palette, and I wasn't super thrilled. I did like the looks that I came up with, but it's definitely not my favorite Mothership. The mattes were great bases for this Queen of Hearts palette, and I really do love how I was able to make a non-pink look with this palette, or whatever you call this, plum or mauve look, because these mattes really are just, they're so close, y'all, like so close. I don't find that they look any differently on the eyelids, so this was one of these shades was just kind of a waste, you know what I mean? So I'm glad that I was able to blend out the Nocturne shade to make it a transition, and I love how it went with the Skin Show shade. Like, that was a great combo. And then, you know, just spicing it up a little bit with the Notoriously Morbid shimmers. I feel like both looks came out really, really nice. So overall, I really had fun with this like luxury indie palette mashup. So let me know if you want to see more of those. It actually gave me a chance to play with something new and then revisit something that I wasn't sure if I liked or not. The jury's still out about this mothership, so we shall see. But I'm going to continue to use it and, you know, do looks with it and, you know, make it fun. So that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for taking out some of your time and hanging out with me for another one today. I hope this was therapy for you. It always is for me. And until I see you again, make sure you are being gentle with yourself. Talk to yourself nice, stay safe, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.